Welcome back. We're going to revisit your Square program. You were excited by that Square. Your code is amazing. What we need to do now is we're going to make this program even better and more versatile. And we're going to use a repeat block to make your code simpler. So right now you have a whole lot of code blocks, and you'll notice a pattern. You kind of have a roll, delay, roll, delay, roll, delay, roll, delay. And so you have this pattern that repeats itself over and over and over again. Now that's great for a square, but if you wanted to make a triangle, if you wanted to make a pentagon, if you wanted to make an octagon, you're going to have to do a lot of adjustments to this code. If you tried to make a bigger square or a smaller square, you would go through and make a lot of changes in this code on all these little blocks, and that gets tedious. So here's what I'm going to say to you. If you take a look at kind of your repetition, roll delay is the thing that gets repeated. It gets repeated 4 times in this particular situation. So what we're going to do is make our code simpler. So I'm going to pick up these roll delays down here. If I just grab that first one, I'm going to pick it up, and you notice when I'm dragging it around, there's a trash can down there. I'm going to take it out to the trash. Boom. Because this pattern is something that gets repeated over and over and over again. That's what I want to repeat, and I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to make the computer repeat that instead of me repeating that. So if you take a look down at the very bottom, we have not been to controls yet, this purple one, and you will notice this thing that says loop. I'm going to drag loop out here, and loop looks a little different because I think it kind of looks like an alligator. Kind of like, here's his eyeball, he's got some teeth, and here's his like bottom lip, right? He looks like he's getting ready to eat somebody. So what we want to do is we want him to eat this roll delay pattern. So you have to be real careful that you get him just right so he eats both of those things together. If you would rather kind of feed him, you can pick up his food, stick it in his mouth like that. Beautiful. Now here we go. The only thing is, this is beautiful. It cheats and makes the whole thing repeat without me repeating it. Roll delay, roll delay. Right now it says 0 times. If I want a square, I want that to repeat 4 times. So he'll roll delay 4 times. Now, don't get so excited, because if I hit run at this exact moment, he's going to roll forward and delay, roll forward and delay. He'll just make a line. Right? So what we need to do is the only thing that varies in this situation, the only thing that you changed in your last program was that direction. So we're going to do a little bit of crazy math. So I'm going to put something in here to do math to make decisions for you. So you're going to go down to your operators, and in operators you will see this plus. And then I'm going to take, sometimes the positioning is a little strange, but if you take the left corner of that and hover it over that 0 degrees, see how it lights up, and let go. Now I have 0 plus 0, which would still be 0, so I still haven't fixed anything. But if I go to my sensors block down here in the bottom, I would really like his heading, which is his current direction. And again, be very careful, make sure you get kind of the corner of it in that spot. And each time I want to take his heading and add 90 degrees to it. So this says roll, and then the robot has to say, okay, what direction am I looking at right now? Add 90 degrees to that direction. That's how I will roll. Then he comes back around and uses his sensor again to see what his heading is at this moment and makes it roll. So this is a little beautiful. When you give that a run, he's going to make a square. Now you'll notice it's going to be a little bit different. But that's all right, because he's going to take off to the right first. But I'd like for you to go ahead and give that a run. Pause this video, give it a run, and see what you think. This time you notice that your robot started by moving to the right, but we can fix that. You can say that you want him before the loop, and so I'm going to put this out here so it does not get repeated. It only happens 1 time before the repetition, and this is a little strange. I'm going to set him in the beginning to look to his left, 270 degrees. Then the very first time he comes in, 270 plus 90 gives you 360, which is really 0. So you will trick him. First he'll look to the left, and then the very first time before he begins to move, he'll look forward. So if you would rather have him go away from you, that's a way to trick that. But congratulations, you have just learned about loops. You created a program using loops. Now, the great thing about this is it would be very easy to change your square. So think about this. How could I make it draw the square twice? How can I make it a larger square? How can I make it do a smaller square and play with some numbers and see how easy it is to change the square when it's written with this loop format.